Matt Lenihan for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. I'm delighted to be joined by former world champion Paul Butler. Paul, we're here in Champs Camp. You've all just sort of moved over sort of a month or so ago. How do you find training this gym before we start diving into fights, previous fights, and what's next?
It's a brilliant gym, mate. As soon as Joe brought me in on a Tuesday by myself, and he just spoke to me about it. What do you think of the gym? And I don't know, I just got this feeling straight away that it's like it's an old school gym. All the old pictures are on the wall from all the ex-champions. And I always remember training in Vauxhall Motors when I was called Wirral CP, but their old gym, and it just reminded me of that vibe. Good energy, good old school gym, old bags up on the wall and that still, and it was, I just got a good feeling about it. And then when we all moved here, and the gym's absolutely bouncing, as you can see downstairs. It's a very, very good vibe in here. Absolutely,
and some of these machines, probably this chair that I'm sat on is probably older than me and you combined looking at it, but it's got that feel like proper vintage old school. I know Joe was saying, look, you've got like your Wildcard gym in LA and all these other famous gyms, the Kronk gym, he wants this to become part of it, so we'll see, hopefully it has a bit of a resurgence and we get some big names coming down to spar. Look, last time we saw you went in there with the monster Inoue, you went and risked it all the marbles on the line, came up short, but you're back, you're training, you look in good shape. Yeah. How are you feeling? You ready to sort of roll the dice again and go again?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I had a good break, came back probably mid-Feb, and from then I've pretty much been pestering to box. I've just wanted to get out. Everyone asking me, oh, are you retired now? You don't just retire after a loss. Just the average person in the street. Oh, you're retired now? No. But you don't all that money, why not? Listen, I just love to fight. I'm not bothered about the money. I probably didn't get half the amount of money I wanted against the Inoue, but I just love to fight. So we're back. We go again in a few weeks, and then hopefully we're back on trail for the world title.
You mentioned there, obviously, you made money against the Inoue and things like that. Have you seen an end date? And I don't mean that because you've been there, you've had your title, you've lost the title, and you're on the back stretch. What I mean is there a point where you look at, have you got sort of something in your mind where you go, you know what, when I get to that age, or I see something or do something, I know that's when I'll call it quits. Do you know that, or is it a case of I just love this, I have to keep doing it until I know?
No, I've always said that the day I don't perform where I should, if I get in with someone and I should be beating them and I get beat, or I just feel like it's not quite there anymore, that is the day I'll walk away. And I won't be one of them kids where Eddie Earn gets on the phone and says, oh, we've got this kid here, do you want to box him for X amount of money? No. Or Frank Warren, or it doesn't matter to me. I've been to the top, I've won 2 world titles, I've boxed for all the marbles. I don't need that type of stuff, so the day I underperform and I don't think it's there anymore is the day I will walk away.
You've been in there with, pound for pound, I would say possibly the most dangerous puncher in boxing. Someone uploaded a clip of him over the day hitting the bag and it sounded like 2 shotguns going off. I know Sam Jones has said something similar from ringside. He says when you hear the shots, it's surprising. What have you taken away from that experience? Because a lot of people before the fight, and probably nothing to do with you, were saying this is done quite quickly, but everyone did. Everyone wrote you off, and I'm sure that spurred you on to probably get that far. But what have you taken away from that fight? Because in every loss, I suppose there's a lesson. It's more of what you learn rather than it just being a defeat. What have you taken away from it?
Yeah, I'll be honest. In probably the 12-week camp that we had, you watch his fights, you watch his training camps, and you're looking and you're thinking, God, look what he's doing to them sparring partners there with 14-ounce gloves on, maybe 16-ounce gloves, and he's wobbling them everywhere, and he's stopping them on the feet, and he's dropping them. And you're thinking, imagine what he's going to be like with 8-ounce on. And then you watch his fights with Maloney, with Donaire, with all the big boys, and he's poleaxing them as well. And you're thinking, surprisingly enough, when he hit me on the chin, I thought, that's not too bad. That is not too bad, you know. I thought, see, the chin, I was all right with the chin. Don't get me wrong, when he hit me, I felt, poof, yeah, it's not as bad as I actually thought, but yeah, if I switch off at any moment and I don't see this shot coming, I'm out. So I knew it had to be switched on. I knew I couldn't switch off at any point. But surprisingly, you're thinking in the back of your head all the way through a training camp, God, if he hits me like that, I am gone. But when he did hit me clean, I didn't think it was too bad. The body shot that caught me in 11, you can't do nothing about. He touched me to the head with a right hand and he brings it right round the side of the elbow. I've handed enough of them out in my time. I suppose it was about time I took one back.
What's that like? Just describe for obviously people that when we all see these knockdowns where you get caught in the head and it's almost like it happens. But I speak to a lot of boxers and the one thing they do say is these body shots can be crippling. You get hit with them and you might not feel it for a millisecond, and then all of a sudden it's like someone like ripping your insides out. Just for everyone who's like seeing when you do get hit with them, that feeling when people are questioning why he's not getting up, it's like physically impossible, isn't it?
Mate, I've been there myself. I've looked at fights and I thought, just get up, just get up. Wow, when I got it with mine, it was just like, you are thinking, get up, and I remember the ref counting, and I remember thinking, come on, get up now. And I honestly thought he was on about 3, and he shouts 8, 9. I thought, bastard. I just couldn't get up, and then I was probably still down for another 10, 15 seconds maybe, getting my breath. And once I got my breath, I got up, and I was still in pain, but it's one of them things. It's boxing, and you get caught in the right shot, in the right spot, then it's good night.
Well, look, it's part of the job. It's part of the game. You've, like I said, you've had 2 world titles. You know, you've been there. You've done it to others. But we'll talk about what's next for you. You look at that division. Belts have been fragmented. Like you said, I think his brother's picked up a title. Yeah. Maloney has just secured one. I think it was 2 weeks ago. So there's opportunity there. There's a few vacant belts. Surely now with what you've done in the game and your standard in boxing, that you'll be able to get back and fight for one of the either the vacants or challenge Maloney or Inoue's brother. What's the plan? What do you want to do?
Listen, just a world title will do for me. Hopefully I'm out in a couple of weeks and then we'll go from there. I'd need a win, then I can push on for a world title. I'm not bothered who it is. I'm not going to sit here and say I want Maloney, I want Inoue's brother. Just a world title does me. Maloney, Australia sounds good. We seem to travel somewhere different every December. It was Dubai the other December. It was Japan last December. If it was Australia next December, then albeit, then I'm all for that. But even if it was Japan again with Inoue's brother, I'm for that as well. And then the other 2 belts, the WBC is vacant and the IBF's vacant. So we'll see where we end up.
Do you like that? You like going to the opponent's backyard? Because obviously you've got a good following yourself, and I can imagine you like fighting over here, but the thought of going to a Dubai, America, maybe a Japan, does that give you that bit extra, you know what, I'll rip it off you in your backyard kind of feeling? Because you seem to thrive off wanting to go to these places.
Yeah, I honestly don't mind. I loved it as a kid growing up as an amateur. I'd love going to other people's shows and boxing them on their own shows, beating them on their own shows. Japan was brilliant, mate. I took about 40 people into Japan. On the ticket, it said, please no noise. So you weren't really... That's why in Japan all you hear is the whoa and the claps. And then you've got all my fans shouting, lady boy, lady boy. And they're just ripping into him and everyone's looking at them. And security are telling them to sit down, be quiet, be quiet. And if you watch the ring walk, you can see me giving all that to him. Because I could hear him. And on the ticket it obviously said no noise, please. So, yeah, I love Japan, I love Dubai, I love the whole experience in Dubai. Obviously, we didn't end up boxing, but I do like going to Stewie Hall, Newcastle. We boxed Stewie Hall in Newcastle for the first world title. I love that. I love going into their backyard and potentially winning. That's the chance you give yourself.
Well, look, I think there's plenty of opportunity for you. Probably ideal, like I said, that he's fragmented the belts, then it does open the door for the likes of yourself. You get back on a winning run in a couple of weeks. Look, we look forward to seeing you back out. I appreciate you in Boxing Social some of your time, and hopefully you do get that. You do get some form of a trip in December, and ideally for a strap. Have you got anything else you'd like to add?
No, just thanks to all the support. Thanks for the gym, the team, everyone around that helps you push through the gym, and it makes it worth a while coming in the gym.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a pleasure talking. It's been good to have a catch up, and fingers crossed we'll catch up when we get some more fight news.
Cheers, mate.